Welcome to Blissfully Aging. I'm your host, Chris Stewart of Advanced Home Care Solutions. I'll be hosting this 7-episode mini-series in which we'll be visiting with older adults who are living life to the fullest. We'll be exploring the ways that these folks are engaged in these diverse pursuits and finding out what keeps them involved. We'll be talking with seniors who are healers, swimmers, runners, entrepreneurs, performers, and artists. The purpose of this mini-series is to show others that it's never too late to take up activities. We'll see how they've moved away from the stereotypes generally associated with growing older. These folks know that staying active and engaged is one of the many keys to longevity. So let's visit with them and see what inspiring adventures they have to share with us. Welcome to Blissfully Aging's Arts episode. Today we're going to talk with a couple of guests who embody creativity in graphic and performance arts. Our first guest is Jean Bauer. Jean has been painting for decades. Her work has been placed in high-profile art galleries. She now enjoys painting in group classes, more for the convenience and the social environment. Our second guest is Dwight Carol. Dwight is a tireless actor. He genuinely loves his craft, whether he's on stage in a Mission Dance Studio production or working in TV commercials. Having personally shared the stage with Dwight, I can tell you that he is a delight to work with too. He initially got involved in dance to improve his posture and flexibility. His work now includes stage acting and TV commercials. He has innumerable other accomplishments. Let's chat with these folks, see why they love doing what they do so much. Today we're sitting here with Jean Bauer. Jean is an artist. We're here talking about a couple of different artists and how they got to where they are now with the level of proficiency. So Jean, tell me a little bit about how you got started in painting.
Well, I moved to Victoria, British Columbia when I was about 22 and started working there, and I went to night school to learn oil painting.
Oh.
And I kept that up, and then I moved to Edmonton for a while and didn't do anything, and then went to Whitehorse, Yukon. And there's a great market there for the tourists are always buying souvenirs.
Right.
And actually, I was busy working. I worked for the Canadian Army, and I married a pipeline operator that worked for the Americans, the Haines-Fairbanks pipeline, and I moved down to the border, the Alaskan border, on the Haines Road.
Oh.
And the scenery was gorgeous. And so I started just painting from life going out, you know, and painting right there on the scene. And then when my pipeline life was finished, when it closed, back to Whitehorse, and I helped start the Whitehorse Art Society.
Oh.
And we had good places to display. One time in their new mall, there was an empty room and we got it for free. And we all sold like mad because that's where everybody was going to pick up souvenirs.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So lots of wildlife and landscape paintings?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, log cabins and
Okay.
native faces. I did a lot of native children's faces. Yeah.
And so was it always oil that you were involved with? Or did you
No,
use other
we had
mediums?
different instructors come in, and I did pastels, and of course watercolors I had done in school. I was raised in Manitoba, and I ended up preferring acrylics to oils because they dry fast and I work fast.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that's a good match then.
Right, yeah.
So were there ever any times in your life when you had to stop painting for any reason? What about when you were raising your family or any working?
Right. I have two boys, and when they got into school, and we were still on the pipeline, and then I was able to get out and do my nature painting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've been in Kelowna for a few years?
Yeah, 1975. The pipeline closed, and my husband had 25 years in, so he could retire. And we came out here and bought an acreage, and I didn't get into the Palette Pals that I'm in now until after he died in '03. So I just seemed to be too busy, you know, but I did paint on my own. But since I joined the Palette Pals, of course, we have our regular Monday morning session every week. And so I've been doing that since '03 with them.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So they're called Palette Pals.
Right, yeah.
Now, can anyone join that group?
Yes.
And is there
All you have to
instruction?
do is belong to the center, which is only $5
Okay.
a year. Yeah.
And which center is that?
Rutland Senior Center on Gray Road, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you're there every week, I understand,
Yes.
painting for about 3 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, how many others are in your class?
You know, I haven't counted. It varies. I mean, not everyone comes each week, but we had a class last Monday, and I think just about everybody turned up. The room was full.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody had their own table, of course, a folding leg table they bring out.
Right.
And but I'm trying to think. At one time there was 40, but what it is right now, I don't know. But there's usually quite a few.
Well, that's a very good turnout.
Yes, yeah, and there's good artists there.
Okay. So do you show any of your paintings anywhere
Every
around
once in a
town?
while, usually once a year, although we missed last year, we'll have a showing somewhere. Sometimes it's been in one of the care homes, you know, like this,
Right.
where there's a place, you know. We've done that. Last year we didn't have one. Sometimes there's one right at the center. They have an open house at the senior center.
Right.
And sometimes we'll have a show when they have that.
Oh, good.
It's not a good place to sell paintings, though. You know, people are not going for that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They just want to appreciate the art.
Right. Right.
So what's the most challenging thing about staying involved in painting as an older adult?
I find that because I have a back problem, I need to rest my back a lot.
Okay.
I don't paint at home anymore.
Okay.
I have other things I do. I think I mentioned, you know, I try to swim at the Y and do carpet bowling at the senior center to get enough exercise.
Right.
I find I really, if I don't keep moving, you know, I'm going to not be able to move.
So swimming in a way kind of helps your back.
It's the best,
because
actually. Oh, it's great.
You've got to stay sitting for so long when you're painting.
Right.
Oh,
Nothing
good.
hurts when you swim.
Good. So what would you say to other older adults who maybe have painted in the past but no longer do that and they're considering maybe taking it up again? What kind of tips or advice do you have for them?
Well, I can tell them that it's never too late to begin, even if you've never painted before, because we've had some that are amazed at the talent they've been hiding on themselves.
Oh, really?
Right.
I'll bet they themselves were surprised too.
Right, yeah.
So someone of any age, you know, any older adult can just come to your senior center on Gray Road and call ahead first for details and just set in and...
Right, and they can, we have at least 2 painters that were art teachers.
Oh, okay.
And we all help each other anyway.
Right.
And we're having a class right now on, from one of our own art teachers.
So are there beginner classes?
Not especially so, but if somebody says they want to start,
okay,
then one of the ladies that has taught will, you know,
we'll
give them
guide them.
Special instructions, and we all help. We all tell them what we know.
Right.
You know.
So what kind of painting do you do in the class? Do you have, is it still lifes or flowers or fruit or
a
animals?
variety. Everybody, you know, everybody does their own thing. We work from photographs, you know.
Oh, so you bring in the material
Right.
that you want to paint. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Wow. And painting can't be terribly expensive, is it?
Not really, especially...
There's an inexpensive way to approach it, right? For someone who maybe doesn't really want to make a full financial commitment, you can enter it perhaps in a more economic way.
You don't need to buy all the colors. You can just buy basic colors and you know, white and black are closest to black.
So where's a good place to pick those up?
Well, the favorite is, I'm trying to think of their name, downtown on Ellis Street.
I'm sure it'll come to you. But there are places out there
that I
that
go
sell
to
basic paint.
over to Michael's because it's closer to me, and the parking, the Ellis Street store, it's hard to find parking, and I can't walk too far.
Okay, so Michael's has a lot of parking, doesn't it?
Yes.
And it's close to the store.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a good place to go for different art supplies.
Right, but downtown, I don't know why I can't think of their name, but they have, if you're a real serious artist, that's where you go, because they have everything. You know? Whereas Michael's really is more for crafts.
Right.
But they do sell paints and brushes.
So how is painting giving you satisfaction in life? What has it done for you?
Well, I always have something to do with my spare time.
Okay, good, good. So what has kept you passionate about it all this time?
Maybe because I've sold a lot. You bring in some extra money that way.
Right, that's encouragement in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, it's just something you like to do, just like you might like to play the piano. You know, it's something to occupy your time.
Have you ever gone on a vacation with the intention of bringing your art products with you and painting while you're on vacation? Have you ever done that?
Well, for 11 winters we spent in Yuma.
Okay.
And I always, you know, took my paints down there, and sometimes if we spent time in Mexico, I'd paint down there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm sure you've got beautiful paintings. I can't wait to visit Jean when she is in her studio with her painting colleagues. That's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have any other advice or tips for adults who may be wanting to start painting, other than start slow with just a couple colors?
Well, it's if it makes you feel, you know, like you're doing something, that's the only reason I paint, because I can't stand being idle.
Right.
And since I've always done it, it was my best subject. It's when I went to school, so I have painted all my life. Yeah.
How do you feel when you paint?
I don't talk much. I concentrate on what I do. Some people chatter away as they paint.
Right.
But I get quiet.
Right. How do you feel when you finish a painting?
Sometimes I'm not too happy.
Oh, always. Right. What about when you finish something that you like?
Well, when I first started on oils, I wanted to keep everything, and now I don't care anymore. You know, because I have so many.
Well, I'm sure your family has very gratefully accepted your wonderful paintings over the course of time. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're here visiting today with Dwight Carol. Now, Dwight, you're pretty active in the acting and the dance community. I remember the first time I met you was a number of years ago. You were in an adult ballet class. I was surprised to see you there, but then as I got to know you, I realized that you just have such a love for being on stage and performing and just doing fun, active movement. And so I've always appreciated what you've offered. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got started in dance? What was that all about for you?
Well, dance was something that I always wanted to do, but over my life, how short it is or how long it is, I had a lot of issues with accidents. I had a few accidents and broke my leg, my ankle, and a whole bunch of other things. So I was quite young at the time, so I mended quite well, except as I got older, I was starting to lose a lot of things, like my balance was off.
Oh, okay.
And I got a new position, a new job, inspecting houses, so I had to walk roofs and stuff like that. So I thought maybe I better...
It's important to have good balance if you're walking on roofs.
That's right. So I had to bring all that back, and I did a good job of that too.
So you first started taking what kind of dance, and where was that?
Well, I grew up in a little community in Saskatchewan. It was a French-Canadian community, and I went to basically a convent. And the convent's now a National Historic Site, but it actually had its own theater in the basement.
Oh, how
and
nice.
the nuns used to run these operettas and all these things that were quite interesting. But as a child, I ended up being part of that. So
that was acting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started acting when you were really little.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I used to sing too, but I don't sing it very well anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then as the years went on, you got involved in some dance, and what did dance do for you?
Dance enhanced my ability to express myself.
Okay.
Which is always kind of a problem for some people like me. You got to be able to satisfy the audience.
Right.
You're always smiling. You're always doing something for them to see.
Right.
You know, whether you're dancing, your expressions have to match what you're doing.
Dancing is a little like acting too, in a way, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So what did dancing do for you physically?
Physically, I was able to get my balance back a lot better. I was able to actually overcome some of I have a leg length discrepancy. I actually overcame that. It's about 10 millimeters, but it's just amazing what I was able to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you found dance brought your balance back and gave you your posture back.
Yeah.
Made you more flexible, probably.
That's
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're involved in the acting community. Are you involved in like some stage productions?
Yes, actually, I work with the Red Dot Players, and they're out of the Okanagan College.
Okay. I don't think I've heard of them.
We put on one theater presentation every year.
Okay.
And it's usually a comedy. I've been in 3 of them. Not as an actor. I do set stuff and props.
Okay.
But I just auditioned for one last week, and it was it's called the Black Bonspiel. It's an interesting play about the devil who takes over a bonspiel. And he does all these things to take over these souls, you see. So these guys have sold their souls so they can win this bonspiel, and the devil sort of makes it really difficult.
That sounds very Canadian in origin.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So now I do happen to know that I have seen you on TV in a commercial.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What is that commercial again? I can't remember
It's
details.
It's an interesting commercial. It was done almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
And there was 2 of us in it, and we have acted together before. Michelle Clark Brown, I think her name is. Anyway, she and I did that commercial, and we did it in about 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted it done really, really quick, and it's about an elevator company.
Okay.
And these elevators are hybrid elevators that retrofit into a house.
Oh, hybrid elevators,
Yeah.
right. That's right. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Well, you look very spiffy and you acted very natural. I thought you did a great job there.
Hybrid's energy-efficient, quiet, hybrid drive elevators are matched to your home decor, providing new mobility freedom or simple convenience for moving large items. Hybrid elevators are surprisingly affordable.
There's this story going around now that people have bets on what I have in the coffee cup that I carry around.
Is that right?
And the answer is water.
Water.
Because the first take, I had the cup like this.
Oh dear. So you have to put something in
So
it.
they said, put water in that cup.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, what first got you involved in acting? How did you make that leap from dance into acting?
I just wanted to be creative.
So you would have started this after you had perhaps stopped working, or were you doing some of these things while you were still working a full-time job?
No, I did this after. But I always wanted to be in a movie, or, it's like kind of like an urge to do something different and be creative. And I've been in at least 3 movies as an extra.
Okay.
And my friend Chris Clayton produced another one where I was actually one of the main actors.
Oh.
Yeah, Michelle and I were in it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a movie done for the Horror Fest. It was called Full Moon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say to an older adult who's considering expressing themselves through performance arts, whether it's acting or dance? What kind of advice can you give them? Maybe they've never done it before. What kind of tips can you give them?
I would think that if you've got any sort of history or background in different environments, you should go into acting, because
Okay.
you should be able to express all those things. And
So is there
we
a
need
particular
that.
place they should go to maybe start exploring this?
Well, there's a website called Actors Alliance. It's on
Okay.
Facebook. Watch to see what's going on there.
Okay.
Sometimes they need extras. Sometimes they need people that have special skills.
Oh, how fun is that?
Yeah, and
what about the dance part? Where would you recommend people go to just get a little taste of what that's about?
well, I'm partial to the Mission Dance Center because that's where I started, and Tanya is a wonderful artistic director, and she works with folks like me, and we're doing a Christmas thing right now. Actually, I've been auditioning for that.
She does do a couple shows a year, I
Yep,
think, right?
one in the spring and one in the
And so
winter.
what's your part in this show?
Actually, I'm just as part of the Nutcracker. I'm like an assistant.
Okay.
I don't have the main role, but that's okay. I'm still there, and I enjoy doing it.
So is this an acting role or a dance role? What do you do?
It's
with
all
this?
dance.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Well, I mean, you have facial expressions, and you have to look like you're actually part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like an enormous amount of fun.
It is. It is.
Right.
Yeah. I really enjoy, and that's the other thing too, is the enjoyment of doing those things. You have to feel part of it. You get to experience other people, work with other people. You learn new things.
Well, there's got to be a lot of camaraderie there so maybe for older adults who are sitting at home in their armchairs thinking,
Yeah.
well, I won't know anyone. How easy is it to make friends, either in the dance studio or on stage with your fellow actors back in the wings? I think you do volunteer work too for some of the state productions, do you not?
Yeah, well, we were just discussing that tonight, but I've been crew on a movie that we did last year here because they needed people.
Okay.
It's like a no budget movie, not a low budget, but no budget.
Okay.
So
you're crewing as a volunteer.
yeah, but then you learn all
Good.
those things too. You learn a
Right.
lot about lighting and electrical and
Okay.
all that stuff.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's terrific.
Yeah.
Well, Dwight, it's just been fabulous talking with you tonight. Thanks for spending your time with us.
That's great. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good to see you.
Yeah.